What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Green Centiskorch VMAX. I was looking for a deck or for a video on YouTube about Green Centiskorch, and I really only found one, and it was kind of like a month old, so it wasn't really an updated version of the deck, and it didn't show a list. So today I'm just going to be going over Green Centiskorch. Now this deck is very similar to Greenszard that was played a lot last season when there wasn't a supporter role first turn, which really hurt this deck. But basically, if you guys don't know what this do, basically use the Green's Exploration card. This card is really good. I accidentally just deleted a card, but it's really good. It lets you search for 2 trainer cards and reveal them and put in your hand. So that means you can search for any of these item cards or supporters, put them into your hands, and then shuffle your deck. But the thing about it is you can't play any Pokemon with abilities, which is a downside about this deck, but it does let you search for basically anything you want in your deck. And then we also do have the Volcanions. This is really good with the Fire Starter attack. If you go seconds and it's your first turn, you can attach 3 fire energies from your deck and attach it from your Pokemon, which is a really good attack. And you also have the High Heat Blast, which is really going to be good against your Decidueyes. It's going to be good to just do some damage because a lot of Pokemon you can't one-shot them, so you're going to want to 2-shot them with your Volcanions. And then you're going to also use this new card, Centiskorch V. Now, Centiskorch V has the first attack, Radiating Heat. This is actually really good against ADPZ because you can actually remove their water energy, which could really slow them down because a lot of lists play 2 water energies, and actually some of them are starting to run 4 just because they tech in the Milotic V. Milotic is a water Pokemon, and I believe it requires like 3 or 4 energies, and it can basically just one-shot your Centiskorch VMAX, so they are starting to use more water energies. But this Radiating Heat attack is really good just for slowing down your opponent when you have a slow start and just being able to remove their energies. We also have the Burning Train attack, which is basically you're just going to use that for your Zamazentas because Zamazenta prevents any damage done by your Centiskorch VMAX, so you're not going to be able to do any damage to that, so that's why you're going to have a Burning Train attack. And a lot of Zamazenta decks do play Metal Frying Pan, so that's why we have your Tool Scrapper. This card is actually really good in this deck specifically because you can just search for it with greens, which is really great. And then we also do have the Centiskorch VMAX. This is probably the main attacker in your deck. It has this G Max Centinferno. This is really good, 40 damage plus 40 for each fire energy that you have attached to it. So if you want to attack and knock out in one shot another Centiskorch VMAX, you're going to need 7 fire energies, 8 times 4 because 40 plus the 7. So it's 8 times 4 is 32, so it's going to hit 3200. So that's why Big Charm could be helpful. And then if you did want to knock out an Eternatus VMAX, you're going to need 8 fire energies, which is quite a bit. So a lot of the time you're going to be 2-shotting these really high HP Pokemon. But it's going to be your main attacker. It's great because it only requires 2 energies, and you're going to be able to do already 120 damage. You can one-shot Baby Blonde on a lot of Pokemon have 120 HP, even Volcanion. And then we also do play Lugia GX. Now this is a card we added recently. The reason I added it was because I played against the mirror match, which is actually really hard if you go first and they go second because they set up so much energy. So I was playing against Ability Centiskorch, which is basically what all YouTubers have been posting about. So basically they just went Volcanion, did a bunch of other stuff, Dedenne, Crobat, Jirachi, stuff like that. Then they went Welder, so they had 2, and then Attach, so they had 3, and then they used Flare Starter, so they got 3 more. So they had a total of 6 energy on the field on their first turn. And literally I just went Attach, and I'm like, okay, that's a ton of energy on the board. I can't really do anything about that. So I'm like, maybe Victini V will take it out. But Victini V is 30 times 30 per fire energy you have. So you're going to need 11 fire energies on both Pokemon to knock out the Centiskorch V, and that is not very likely to happen. So that's why I didn't play the Victini V. Although it is good for recovering energy, I just felt like it'd be a bit slow. So I did want to play the Lugia GX. It has that Lost Purge GX attack, and I got this idea from some previous Guardian and Greenszard lists from the past. It has that Lost Purge, so it's going to let you Lost Zone Pokemon and all cards attached to it for only 3 colorless energies, so you can just Welder attach. Then you can just Lost on the ADPs. Actually, Lost on an ADP went right after they altered creation, and they basically couldn't do anything because they couldn't go with their attack and accelerate their energies. So Lost Bird is really good for that. Also good for the mirror match when they build up a ton of energies on their Centiskorch VMAX, because this does do a ton of damage and it keeps getting energy every turn. So you're definitely gonna want to have a card to stop that. That's really our main card against that. And then for the supporters, we do play 4 greens, of course, is the main engine of the deck. 4 Welders, of course, attached to draw 3. And then we play, let's see, before I talk about that, we play 1 boss. I was actually trying to decide if I should play boss. We play custom catchers as well. These are going to be your gust effects. At first I was playing 4 customs and no boss. I'm like, that's pretty good, but if I prize one, it's kind of annoying. So we did cut the boss at one point. We were playing Vitality Bands, but I felt like the boss is really helpful just because it allows you to gust with a supporter, especially because there's Vikavolt, so you're not able to use item cards. A lot of these cards are going to be dead. So the boss is going to be really helpful for being able to gust in that situation. 4 custom catchers are really helpful as well. This is actually one thing that this deck has that most other decks, actually no really other decks in the format have, is you can gust any Pokemon you want by just searching greens. You can just go greens, double customs, and then just double custom anything you want, which is really great. We do play one Melalana right now. I'm still trying to decide if we should go Melalana or Birdkeeper. They both do have that switch effect, which is really good against Vikavolt. It's just good to heal certain matchups like EDP, matches like Zation decks, anything that's a 2-shot you, it's pretty good to use Melalana, but Birdkeeper does help, especially if you're like breaking or something, you want to draw 3 cards and switch. So it's kind of been trying to decide which one to use. This deck is pretty tight right now, so I'm trying to figure out what cards to add. But this card, Lieutenant Surge's Strategy, this card I added actually today. It actually works really well because a lot of times, like against Eternatus VMAX, they just keep knocking you out. The hit for 270, 270, and it's like, well, can't keep up with that. So that's why we have Lieutenant Surge's Strategy. You can only play it if you're downing prizes, and it lets you play 3 supporters in one turn, including that one. So you can just go Surge, Greens, Welder, or you can go Surge, Welder, and then you can just get tons of energy on your Pokemon. It's really good for making a comeback. So that's why we play the Surge. This card is really good. I think I want to keep this card in the deck, but we're still testing it out. And then for the items, we play 4 Acrobikes. This is really good because we really need that consistency. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them in your hand and discard the other. So we're really going to want to dig through our deck. It is annoying when we get item locked by Vikavolt, but this is probably one of the best cards because we don't have Dedenne and Crobat. This is going to be our draw engine for the deck. That's how we're going to get through our deck through that. And we also play 1 Energy Spinner. I really like this card, especially when you go second, because you just get 3 energy cards out of your deck. You don't have to discard any cards, unlike Fiery Flint. Now, Fiery Flint is really helpful like later mid game, and yeah, more mid game. This is good early game. Flint is good mid game, because late game a lot of times I don't really need much energy, and then having the Flint is annoying because I have to discard 2 cards, and a lot of times you don't really want to discard anything in this deck. But we do play that 1 Spinner. I really like that. We play 2 Incense as well. Search for an evolution Pokemon. This is to get your Centiskorch VMAXs out. It's really helpful for getting that. We don't play Pokecom because we don't have enough energies. We don't have enough Pokemon in this deck. We only play 10. So Pokecom is not going to be very reliable, so we do play 2 Incense. We also play 2 Fire Crystal to get back to our Fire energies. We are going to be getting energies back with our Centiskorch VMAX, but just in case we want to set up another attacker, we do want to have that Fire Crystal so we can recover Fire energies, and then just attack with the Volcanion, attack with Centiskorch. Now, this thing is a little bit different. With Greenszard, you used to want to bench 2 Volcanion and then 2 Reshizards just to offset the Prizards. So they take 2 Volcanions, that's 2, and then a Reshizard, that's 5. So they're down to 1 prize, you go Stamp to 1, and then you have the Reshizard, and then you go Stamp Plant usually. So that's kind of a big difference about this as well. There's no Power Plant, which I'll talk about in a second. So for this deck, you're almost always going to want to start Volcanion. You're going to go Volcanion and then set up a Centiskorch most of the time. I do set up a Lugia in certain matchups like ADP or a deck that sets up tons of energies, but usually it's more at mid game. I only do it early game really against ADP or a deck I know is going to get tons of energy early on. And then, yeah, they have to either commit to a Pokemon or it's either Pokemon they really need, like when they tag pull with a Pika Realm. So we have that. And then you're going to want to put this down. So because this is a 2-prizer and it's a stage 1, it's a basic and we have the stage 1, it's not going to be a 3-prizer like Reshizard no matter what, because they could just go ahead and knock out your Centiskorch, like boss it up, which is actually really annoying. It's happened a few times. So you could go Volcanion and Flare Starter into that. They get Zation, Saucer, Attach, and then Intrepid Sword, and they get a medal for that. So that's just really annoying. They can just boss it up and knock it out, which is yeah, it's just so tough to make a comeback after that because you committed all your energies. So what we're gonna do is you have that. So if they knock out your Volcanion and then your Centiskorch, you're down to 3. Then you're gonna want to put down another Centiskorch, then they're down to 1, and then you just do another Centiskorch and then a VMAX. Or what you can do instead is you can just go for a VMAX and another Volcanion. So you go 2 Volks, Centiskorch, and then a VMAX. So although they are still going to go down to 2 prizes, it's better than going down. It's better than going down just to 3 and then just taking a VMAX straight away. So you're going to want to maximize the amount of prize cards they take, just so you can survive as long as possible. Next up, we have 4 Pokegears. This card is really good to look at the top 7 cards of your deck and get a supporter. This card is really great so we can actually get any of these 4 supporters, actually 5 supporters in our deck. You really want to get the Greens and the Welder. Those are just really important cards, and Pokegear is going to allow us to get those. Another reason we play that is because we don't play Dedenne Jirachi. This is basically going to be our Jirachi in the deck. We also do have 2 Quick Balls. We want to search for the Volcanion and the Centiskorch as well as the Lugia. Then we do play 2 Reset Stamp. This card is really good it's our disruption card. It's going to allow us to put our opponent down any cards. A lot of times it is annoying because I just stamp my opponent. They get exactly what they want, exactly what they need to win the game, and that's unfortunate. But this is really good because if they have a huge hand, they're more likely than not going to have the cards they need to finish off the game. And we also do play 2 switch. We only play 2. A lot of decks play 4 right now because we're not really switching a lot of the time. Mostly if you start like Centiskorch or Lugia, you're going to want to switch into Volcanion and then attach Fire and then Flare Starter. So other than that, you don't really switch too often unless they boss you up to stall, then you might want to switch there, or just different situations. But switch is still helpful. Not playing any is really bad. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things and pivot, but yeah, we have that. And then Tool Scrapper, this card is really helpful. Tool Scrappers is a lot of fire. There are a lot of metal decks in format, so they're weak to fire. But what Tool Scrapper is going to allow you to do is so we have Lucario Melmetal. That's actually a really popular deck right now. So Tool Scrapper is going to allow you to get those Metal Frying Pans off, and even some ADPization decks are playing Metal Frying Pan as well. So you're going to want to do a weakness to them. So you're going to use Tool Scrapper to get those Frying Pans off, so that you can one-shot them with Volcanion, at least for the Zacians. So you're going to hit 110 times 2, 220, so you're going to one-hit KO those Zacian Vs. But the thing is, we can't one-shot those Amazentas. So that's why we have that Burning Train ability, and we were actually playing the Vitality Band before this, plus 10 damage. So then it would hit for 240 and one-hit KO this Amazenta. But a lot of times it wasn't too good in a lot of other matchups. So I just ended up cutting it. And it's good in some other situations, but that's probably the main reason that we play the Vitality Band. So I put a boss in instead, and I feel like the boss is a lot better. And then we also play 1 Giant Hearth. This card is really good. I was playing 2 before. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I want to do for Energy Search. We currently play the Spinner and the Hearth, so that's going to be 1 and then 2. So Hearth is really good against Vikavolt, so it's not an item card. You can actually just put it down and search your energies and then just like welter with it. But the thing is, ADPization plays 2 Chaotic Swells. A lot of them are playing 2 now. They used to play just 1, but now that stadiums are increasing in numbers because of Vikavolt, they're starting to play 2, which is really annoying. So I'm not too sure about the Hearth count. If I increase it to 2 and take out the Spinner, we're really vulnerable to Chaotic Swell. But if I don't play any Hearth at all, we're going to be weak to Vikavolt. So I'm kind of trying to split that up. Maybe I might change this to a Flint, but still trying to figure that out. We also play 1 Heat Factory. This card is just really good in all fire decks. Lets you discard a fire card, draw 3 cards. It's literally busted. This card is just, drawing cards is really helpful. That's why I was thinking like maybe Bird Keeper would be good because it lets you draw cards. And then probably the last card in this deck that I didn't talk about was Stealthy Hood. Now I was going through a lot of tools in this deck. I went through Big Charm, I went through Air Balloon, Vitality Band, Lucky Egg, and Stealthy Hood. Before I was playing like 4 tools. I was playing Adventure Bag, but decided to cut those for Acrobikes because you really need consistency in this deck. So we do play the Stealthy Hood because this is really good against Zigzagoon. Now, Zigzagoon maybe like 10 HP, 10 damage, that's nothing, bro. You have a 320 HP attacker, like 10 damage, that's nothing. Well, you do have something called Yveltal GX. Basically, GX attack, if your opponent has 4 damage counters exactly on it, it gets knocked out. So 4 Zigzagoon pings, they just KO Centiskorch, no matter how much HP it has. If the Big Charm with the, I don't know, plus 1000 HP, still gets knocked out if it has 4 damage counters on it. Plus, Stealthy Hood is helpful against Eternatus as well. Because if they hit that 5th one, then they can just one-hit KO you if they have a full bench for 270. 270 plus 50, 320, then that's a one-shot. And you don't want to get one-shot against Eternatus because you actually are surviving. That's the bad thing about Greenszard right now. It gets one-shot by Eternatus, but this card it doesn't. And to prevent that, you have that Stealthy Hood. This is also really good against Mareep because it's going to prevent them from putting you to sleep. So this Stealthy Hood is just really good against 2 of the really popular decks right now. Other than that, it's kind of a dead card, so you're going to want to discard it in most of your other matchups. It doesn't work against Decidueye, so you can't just attach it to your Centiskorch and be like, oh, Stealthy Hood prevents attacks. Well, it says prevent effects of your opponent's abilities done to the Pokemon this card is attached to. So Decidueye is protecting itself, it's not doing anything to the opponent's active Pokemon. So yeah, I tried using this when I was using ADPization and Expanded, and I was making an expanded video explaining that, which if you guys want an expanded video, just let me know and I'll try and do that, and basically do a guide on everything about expanded, because I literally didn't know anything about expanded, and then after I did some research, basically know a ton about expanded. So we have that. So I tried doing the Stealthy Hood against a Pyroar. Basically this Pyroar can't take any damage from basic Pokemon, and I'm like, oh man, my deck's all basics, basically like the Obstagoon of standard. So I'm like, Stealthy Hood busted, I'll just attack with it. Nope, doesn't work. So yeah, it's basically just good against those two matchups, Vikavolt and Eternatus. Other than that, you're gonna want to discard it with your Quick Ball, with your Giant Hearth, and your Acrobikes and your Mountain Lana. You also do play 12 Fire Energy. Now, Fire Energy, this is one of the things that I'm still having trouble figuring out what the best number is. I start off with like 14, I think. I'm like, yeah, this needs a lot of energy because you got that Centiskorch VMAX, you're gonna want tons of energy. And I'm like, I kind of want to add some other cards, so I lowered it to 13. I actually ended up lowering it to 11. So 11 was a pretty good number. That's how much Greenszard plays, but I felt like a lot of times I just didn't have enough energy. Like if I prize a few energies and then if someone might discard, I ran out of crystals or something like that, I used them early game, then it was just really annoying to not have enough energy, so I decided to add another one. I kind of want to have even 13 fires, but it's just hard to fit everything that I want in this list. We do want that consistency with the 4 Bike, 4 Catcher, 4 Greens, 4 Welders, and a lot of these other cards are just text. So the big things I'm still trying to decide between are Mallow and Lana, the Fire Energies, the Spinner, the Hearth Count, let's see what else, Lugia. This card is really good in some situations, but if you start it, it's really annoying. Fire Crystal, I've considered using 3 Crystal, which I started using when I first played this deck, but a lot of times you don't really need 3 crystals. And then, let's see, oh yeah, one more card. I did not mention Wondrous Labyrinth. So Wondrous Labyrinth, I actually played that for a long time, and I actually cut it just recently because I was trying to fit some cards. Oh yeah, I cut it for the 12th energy. So I had 11 energy and then a Wondrous Labyrinth. And Wondrous Labyrinth is actually really good against like ADP, against Zacian, but the thing is they typically have a counter stadium, and you could be like, yeah, but you can't bet on them having counter stadium, because then if that was the case, you wouldn't play a ton of cards. Like you wouldn't play Stealthy Hood because they have a Tool Scrapper. And yeah, the cards that this card is good against don't play Tool Scrapper at the moment, so that's really good. But Wondrous Labyrinth, it was pretty good once you have everything set up. But I felt like one thing this deck struggles with is actually getting set up in the first place. Yeah, the disc is full again. So the thing about this deck is it really struggles if you go first. You're going to want to use Flare Starter a lot of time, but if you go first, it's a lot harder. You're going to want to attach and a bench of Pokemon because you are prone to getting donks. But this deck, the thing about it is it doesn't have a very favorable matchup. There's not like a 90-10 matchup for this deck, but it does have a lot of 50-50 matchups. It's really good against basically every deck. Like it has a chance of winning literally any deck. Like it beat Eternatus multiple times, it beat ADP multiple times, it beat Baby Bonds, it beat Decidueye, it beat Vikavolt. But then again, I've lost to those decks as well. So it's kind of like a 50-50 deck. And a big thing is whether you go first or second. So for the POG tournament, it is best of 1. So if you lose the coin flip, that's going to be a huge difference maker. It can be a huge game changer. So this deck is really great. I really enjoy playing it. Still have to test it more, but I'm going to go ahead and get into some games and you guys can see how the deck works out. And then you guys can decide for yourselves what you think, and I'll give some more commentary about what I think about this deck and how it does against each of the different matchups. So let's just go ahead and get into some games. Alright guys, we are in our first match, and just one thing I wanted to mention before, I totally forgot to talk about the power plant. So the reason we don't play power plant in this build is just because there aren't as many GX Pokemon, there aren't any EX at all. Just because there's so many V Pokemon, Crobat V, Eldegoss V, that power plant just isn't as good anymore. It used to be really great against like Mewtwo and Mew and Dedenne GX, and Dedenne is used in almost every deck, but the power plant just doesn't have as much value as it used to have. So that's one of the big reasons we don't play power plant, and I just prefer to have more consistency because power plant is good against your opponent, but just doesn't necessarily benefit like on my side. So that's the reason we don't play power plant. And then heat fire energy, I tried playing around with that and I don't really like it too much, just because you can't use fire crystal, you can't use flint, spinner, hearth, heat factory, and the 20 HP. It's helpful in some situations, but I just feel like it'll make it more consistent with just all fire. So we are playing into Eternatus VMAX in this matchup, which could prove to be pretty difficult. And our starting hand is alright. We have some bikes, so we have a chance of hitting a supporter. What we really want to hit is a greens and then Volcanion. Or we just want to hit greens so we can search for quick ball switch so that we can just attach all the energy. And since we did start Lugia, I think we're going to use that to threaten the Lost Purge. Because I actually did play against Eternatus VMAX recently, and I set up the Lugia and they instantly just bossed it up. So definitely is a big threat because it's going to take care of basically one-shot their Pokemon without me taking any prizes. And it's just going to eliminate everything there. So let's just go ahead and see what we can get. So we do get the Volcanion, so we just need the switch card. We can take the Welder. And let's see. Yeah, let's go bike again. And we get the reset stamp. So let's see what we're going to do. Yeah, so we can actually Crystal onto the Lugia. Or we can Crystal and then Welder to the Lugia. Because it has a 2 retreat cost. And then we can go here. Here, and let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and retreat. It's basically just getting an extra energy. So we have in deck. We have 2 Centiskorch. That's fine. Custom. Yeah, no crystal. We have a quick ball prized. Pokegear. Let's see. We have a greens prized. We have the hood. That's really important in this matchup. We really need to get the hood soon. And this is sort of bad because we didn't get a Centiskorch setup, so it's definitely going to be a problem. That's one reason why the Lugia could be something to consider cutting, because it only has 190 HP. We are going to be able to Lost Purge this. If he tries to attack, we can just Lost Purge and he's not going to be able to come back. Or at least he can't attack the next turn because it does require 2 fire energies, so we're in a decent spot right now, not the best. So we do have Centiskorch VMAX. That would be nice if it was a V, but there's not really much we can do about it. So we can Pokegear the next turn and we have a fire energy. So probably just gonna go Lost Purge. And then the Centiskorch VMAX, this matchup is pretty difficult just because they hit 270 every time. And that's just a ton of damage. So right now they're hitting for 150. So they're gonna be able to knock out our Volcanion. So he is actually setting up one on the bench because he knows that there is going to be a Lost Purge, and he's going to Marnie it, which is actually really good. We did have the Pokegear, but that's basically all we had. So let's go ahead and see what we can get off this Marnie. So we do get the Welder, double Welder Fire. That's not the best because it would be ideal to have 2 fires. So let's see where he's going to put the pings. Alright, so he's just going to ping our Lugia. That's actually pretty good because it's not the Centiskorch. So he's not going to be attacking this turn. Let's see, so if we attack, we're going to hit for 110, and then 170 the next, and he's going to go Knockout, or he could just go Boss, so... Alright, so he's going to go there. I think because he doesn't want us to knock us... Okay, he's going to go Power Accelerator, that's actually... Oh, he doesn't have any energy to discard. Alright, so let's see. So if we can go this, we'll go on a 4, we'll go another... Let's see. Alright, so... I think we just go Welder for 1 because we don't know we don't know we're gonna need another fire. Okay, so we got that. We're gonna want to touch. Let's see, yeah, touch. And then does the 110 do anything here? Yes, it does. So if you don't know what that does, let's put down to 5. So if you got 6. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if we should bench the Volcanion right here. So if he knocks out that, he goes to 5. If he knocks out this, he goes to 3. If he knocks out that, he goes to 5. He goes to 1. But if we do evolve this, he's going to go down to 1. So we're probably going to evolve that. So yeah, let's put this down. If he Marnies us, that'll be annoying. So let's just go ahead and High Heat Blast. And we're going to hit for 110. So he's going to have to hit... Yeah, he's going to have to get the attachment plus the boss in order to knock out our Lugia. And yeah, if he doesn't KO our Lugia, we're going to be able to retreat, and we could just go double customs and then Lost Purge the Eternatus, because that's going to get rid of his bench if he doesn't evolve another one. There's a high chance he's going to evolve this to turn this V, but hard to tell what he's going to do right here. So he's going to go attach. Let's see, his attack costs 4. So he's going to hit 1. Okay, so he's going to evolve. So he's hitting for 240 right now. That's going to be more than enough to knock us out. The question is, does he have Boss's orders? He might be searching that with Crobat. He's going to try to dig further because he doesn't want to get Lost Purge by this. I really wouldn't either. I'd be like, oh gosh. Oh, he has the Boss order in hand. Okay, I'm just like, what do you do? What? He brings up the Centiskorch? I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, that is a bigger threat here because we're actually going to be able to take a prize, and it's worse to Lost Purge. Let's see. So, yeah, we're going to bring up the Lugia, and I think we Lost Purged the one on the bench. That's unfortunate, we get the Incense here, so that was a good idea to do that. So he's going to go attach, attack, and then, let's see. We're not going to go greens for... We need to set up another V. Oh. Yeah, Surge. It's better to draw into Surge than to just use it, than to greens for it. Let's see, the hood, that's not going to be helpful now. Let's see. How many fires do we have? We have 3 fires. Okay. So, we have Hearth, Quick Ball. Yeah, we have customs. Yeah, because if we boss setup, he's still gonna have an attacker. So, yeah, we're definitely gonna Lost Purge this right here. We're also gonna stamp him for sure. Let's see. So, yeah, we're gonna have to get rid of this incense here. Which is a bit unfortunate because we can't search. Let's see, we have 3 VMAXs left. We have an incense, so that's totally fine. We can go here. So we're gonna go ahead and attach to Volk. Oh, we should have attached to the V, but that's alright. So we go here, Centiskorch V, and our hand is gonna be really small now. We can reset stamp him. Definitely gonna have to stamp him because he just might not draw Dark Energy. I don't even know how many energy these are Eterna displays, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and Lost Purge. This is our only GX, so it's not like we're doing that instead of Double Blaze. Even if that was Double Blaze, that wouldn't even one shot. So yeah, Lugia GX is definitely a lot better. So if he goes Knockout, yeah, which he is, if he had another boss knock that out, that would be really annoying. So we're gonna go Hearth away our top deck most likely. Hopefully it's not like, actually if it was a cashier that would be pretty good. Hopefully, I hope it's not a greens or a surge. I think the best top deck we can get is, I believe a custom catcher would be the best top deck. And our disc is full. Yeah, we have not much storage, but I'm trying to make this video so I can showcase green Centiskorch. And so far it's not looking the best right now. We're taking 0 prizes even though we have gotten to that Eternatus. Not too sure how good that was in this matchup, just because we want to do damage. Let's get the Yveltal GX out. So now we're gonna have to, okay, Danger Stroll of Hearth. That's actually really annoying. So he's gonna Dread End us, and we're actually in a really tough position. We're probably gonna lose now. Let's see. We bring up, yeah, because if we don't get the 4th energy, we're only hitting for 50. Okay, so custom, that was literally the best top deck we could get. But then after that, we didn't draw too well. So yeah, we're not gonna be able to win this match. But let's just see what we can do in the next one. Okay, guys, so we are in the next one. We have a win streak of 0 now, and yeah. So in that match, Lost Purge was not very useful. It's much better if they have tons of energies on their Pokemon. I think I should have... Yeah, there really wasn't much I could do just because I didn't set up very well. It actually was a good idea by my opponent to boss up the Centiskorch instead of the Lugia, just because I wasn't taking any prizes when I Lost Purged all that, and I already hit it for 110, so that was actually really bad because I'd already started to get some damage. And 3 mulligans, so yeah, this deck does mulligan because we play 7 Pokemon, something like Greenszard. 6 if we take out the Lugia. But if we were to take out the Lugia, I'd probably go for a 4th Volcanion. Or maybe, let's see, we could add a Wondrous Labyrinth. We could add Big Charm. We could add a Fiery Flint, Hearth. I don't know, this list is, like, most of the cards, I'd say like 56 of the cards are pretty certain, but the rest of them I'm still not too sure. So we actually have a really good start here. I like to save my bikes for when we get stamped, so I'm just going to go greens for hopefully we have our spinner in deck. So we have our spinner. That's another tough thing, when we surprise our spinner turn 1, that's not the best feeling. So we're going to go with the Stealthy Hood. Doesn't look like this guy's playing too many Zigzagoons, but the Zigzagoon still is going to be a factor in this. You still have the bike and the Heat Factory to draw. So we're going to go here. We're going to go spinner, get 3 energies, pretty busted play. And then we're going to go attach, bench, hood, and then flare starter. So this is probably the most ideal play that we're going to want to have with this deck, just flare starter into a Centiskorch. And we did learn that we probably shouldn't use a Lugia GX to go against this deck, unless that is they had an Eternatus VMAX with a ton of bench but didn't have a Eternatus V. Then we just force them to discard all their Pokemon. But this guy's running a Piers version of it, so search for Dark Pokemon and energy card. Yeah, so it's gonna get the special dark energy that gives you free retreat. So he's gonna attach right there actually, so he's not gonna be able to attack right now. And he's probably gonna retreat the fact that he attached that, so I think he's trying to dig some more. And then he's gonna go Crobat, yeah. And then, let's see, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna evolve our turn is VMAX next turn. Oh, he's a Sableye. That could actually be really annoying. So this is kind of like a Dark Boxy Eternatus VMAX. So we're going to go ahead and evolve the Centiskorch V. And then we're going to attack with Volcanion. This is actually really good. So yeah, once again, we're going to save the bike for when we actually need it. So I'm trying to decide, because if I touch 2 Welder, if I touch 2 Fire here, then that's just going to commit everything there. So I'm just going to attach 1 to Volcanion, just to see what I get. And then I do want to get another basic Pokemon down. I don't want to do the Lugia, so Tool Scrapper is not necessary in this matchup. And I do want to, yeah, I really want to bench another basic, so let's see if we can get another one. Okay, bike, and alright, so we got a quick ball. So that's actually really good. Let's discard this Lugia, because we learned last time that's not very good. So we're gonna go with, let's see, so that's gonna survive probably. But yeah, we do have a Centiskorch VMAX in hand, so we're gonna go with the Centiskorch V, just so we can start setting that up, bench that, attach, and then High Heat Blast. So High Heat, this is really good for High Heat Blast. It's just great for getting some initial damage on here. Now, Malonana can completely mess this up. Oh, he's gonna knock out our, oh, okay. Oh. Wait, so that's actually really good. So we're currently hitting 160. So that's not gonna be enough. We attach another, we're gonna hit 200. Yeah, so that's not gonna be enough still. So we're actually gonna have to hit a Welder. And we do have a switch, so if we don't hit a Welder off of this, okay, so we have a high chance of hitting Welder. Let's see, I'm gonna discard 2. Let's see, so we could go hard to thin a bit, but I do like the Heat Factory in play. Let's go try and hit a Welder. Alright, we hit the Welder. This is actually really good because he doesn't have Eternatus V on the field, so I don't know, this deck doesn't look, maybe this version isn't as good because it's a little bit slower, but so if we touch that, it's rating 240, so that would be at 350. Okay, so that's enough. So we're going to go ahead and knock him out, and we're going to save the Hearth just for later. And now we can actually evolve our Centiskorch VMAX and bench our Volcanion. This is the ideal prize trade, so this is like the Reshizard. So you got so you want them to knock this guy out, then 2 of these, and then this guy. So you can stamp them to 1 at the end. And let's see, so we're actually going to be able to knock him out for there's no fire in the discard. That's alright. So we actually get 3 prizes off that, and it looks pretty good for us. Deck is setting up a little bit better than last time. So for this matchup, Lugia, alright, so this is actually really good for us because we actually have double customs in hand, and we're already hitting 240, so if he benches another Eternatus V, yeah, he doesn't even have bench space for that, so that's basically a game because we just KO'd the Weavile. Yeah, he plays 2 Weavile. I think this is like the Japanese list. I kind of forgot what it looks like, but yeah, he has a ton of like maxed out cards. Oh, he's gonna Marnie us. That's actually really good. But we don't really need much off of this. We got the Malolana, which is actually really good. So we could just, but he doesn't have any Pokemon threatening to attack us. So I think we just attack with the Centiskorch VMAX, and we save the Malolana for a second Centiskorch. Yeah, right now he's not really going to be able to do anything. Oh, we actually just put the Sneasel up, so we're going to be able to knock that out with Volcanion. Oh, he's going to just concede. Yeah, he literally had nothing. He couldn't bench another V, so I think we got that was a bit lucky, but we set up a lot better that time. So, I mean, we beat Eternatus VMAX, but let's just go ahead and do another game and see what we can do. Alright guys, so we are getting into another match. Hopefully we don't play against another Eternatus. Not because I don't want to, but just so you guys can see kind of how the deck works against different types of decks. So he's gonna let us go first. He's probably gonna be playing Vikavolt. So in that case, yeah, Lost Bird is definitely bad against Vikavolt. So this card is really good against the Mirror Match and AEP. Okay, yeah, he's playing Sleepy Mill. So now we're gonna use a Stealthy Hood for the Mareep. So we can showcase that. I've actually never used a Stealthy Hood against a Mareep, so now we get to confirm that it actually works. And it's a bad start for him, but also a bad start for us. So we're just gonna go to attach. And this is a situation where I think Birdkeeper would be nice because we could draw. Although we really don't want to switch into the Lugia, at least we could draw cards and not have a dead hand like this. So we're really relying on him Marnieing us or just getting a really good top deck. And the best top deck would be either Welder or Greens, or even a Pokegear or a Bike. So we have 16 outs in the deck. Pretty good. So what we want to do is we want to just evolve. So against Vikavolt, if they item lock us really early on and we don't set up a VMAX or just set up a V, then it's really tough. So if he gets the turn 1 item lock, which it looks like he will, then we really can only top deck a Welder or a Greens. Otherwise, we're basically going to get destroyed. So this is also a good situation where the first stack is good. So we get top deck a Crystal. So let's see. So there's a chance he could knock us. He could one-shot us if he gets. It's very unlikely. He has 4 cards in hand, but let's see. So what do we get off of Cynthia and Caitlyn? Cynthia and Caitlyn drew purple. Guzma Hall or something. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, we really don't want to bench the Lugia in this matchup, so we're just not going to. And it's pretty unlikely he's going to get 2 energies. So he's going to get the 1 E-Power. It's going to be 80. Okay, so we're just going to Paralyzing Bolt us. That's alright, because now we can Malolana for the full effect. So we're going to go here. Or should we just... Let's see. This is kind of tough because if I send up the Lugia, he can easily do lots of damage to us. So he's gonna have to... This is kind of tough. I think we just attach and let's see. He's really relying on top deck, but then again, yeah, let's just go ahead and Malolana and just... Oh, let's just bench that in case. And then Yeah, let's just go there. Because it's pretty unlikely that he's going to... We're just hoping he doesn't top deck like a supporter. If he does, that's going to be really annoying. Alright, he got the air balloon. Another air balloon. That does not look good. He got the Dedenne. Alright. So, if he Mari's us, that'll be pretty good, and we'll probably wish we use Metal Lana, but then... Okay, so he's got the capture energy? Yeah. Okay, so that means he's not going to be able to Super Zap Canyon. Oh, so he's going to be able to E-Power and knock us out. So... Yeah, I think the better play was using Metal and Lana because... Yeah, this is actually just really bad. This is such a bad start. We literally didn't draw anything. So we're just gonna concede. Yeah, as you guys can see, this deck could draw very badly at times. So that's exactly the reason why I was trying to add more consistency to the deck. So let's just get into one more game, and we'll see. We'll see how many games. Alright guys, we are in another game. Let's just go ahead and see if this deck can show off what it can really do, what it's made of, because this is definitely not how the deck always runs. We're going first again. Looks like another Vikavolt, but we actually have one against Vikavolt, and we do have the green, so it's going to be a lot better. And the Stealthy Hood is going to be, depending on if he plays Sleepy Mareep, and we also have the Giant Hearth, so that's actually going to be really helpful as well. So I'm just going to go attach. Let's go Pokegear, just because. So he's gonna know we're playing greens now, but if we get item lock turn 1, that's gonna be annoying. So this is our only item card, and let's just go and pass. So our game plan is to greens for Evolution Incense, assuming he doesn't item lock us. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Alright. So okay, he can't donk us. If there's a Volcanion, he could with Heatran, but... Okay, so this is actually the reason we play Lost Purge, so hopefully we're able to showcase that, but let's just go ahead and see what our opponent can do. If he gets the Volcanion off, that's going to be really painful for us. He gets the Quick Ball. Now all I need is an attachment and a switch, which probably isn't too hard to get, but... Yeah, because he could just go to Dedenne if he doesn't have it. He has Pokecom also, so he has lots of options. This is definitely why the ability version is a lot better. So, at least in the mirror match, the disc is full. So, he's going to get the Volcanion here, so this is actually going to be quite tough for us. He's benching 2 Volcanions, which... Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So he just concedes. He doesn't get. Oh my gosh! What? Wow, he could have just gotten into Denny or something. I don't know what he was thinking, but I guess yeah, we definitely have to do another battle now after that one. Okay. All right, guys. So this is gonna be the final match. Looks like our opponent has a Pikarom deck box. We lost the coin flip again. And if this happens in POG, this deck is not going to be very fun to play. So we start Centiskorch V again. Even if we had the 4th Volcanion, it wouldn't change anything because all these cards would stay the same. So that's fine, this is going to happen. But we actually are going second, and we have the green, so this is a really good start for us. Depending on our top deck, we have to Quick Ball switch, so... Trying to decide what to Quick Ball. I don't really want to Quick Ball the Incense or the Crystal or the Heat Factory or the Boulder. I don't want to discard anything in our hands. So hopefully our top deck is another Fire. You just put down the Eldegoss. Okay, so that's good. We don't need 2 Incense. So I want to get the Spinner, but I can't. I have to get Quick Ball switch. So we have that. So we have 2 of those, 10, surprised to fire. Alright, so let's go ahead and Quick Ball. And quick ball away an incense, get the Volcanion, and now we're just going to be able to attach, switch, and then go Flare Starter. This is really what the deck wants to do. Problem is our hands isn't the best for next turn. We do have some really good cards, but we don't have any fire energies. That's why for the heat fire energy, it's not the best because you aren't able to use fire crystals, heat factories, and welders on it. So yeah, let's just see what really depends what our top deck is. If our opponent plays Marnie, definitely not going to reset Stampless. I think he's still playing, or I think she's still playing Pikarom. Yeah, because they have the Pikarom deck box, so they're going to be able to discard an energy for Tapu Koko and probably get the Dedenne. Okay, they got Pikarom. Oh yeah, they probably just weren't able to use a supporter. Okay, so yeah, I can get Thunder Mountain. Let's see if they have Tapu Koko in hands. If they do, they're going to be able to full blitz us, and then Centiskorch. So there's Speed Lightning, they're probably going to try to draw into a quick ball, unless they already have it. But we're going to go ahead and evolve the Centiskorch and see what we top deck, because right now we just really need a fire energy. I was considering cutting the crystals, but if we don't have crystals, it's going to be tough late game. So it's really tough. Alright, they're not going to be able to get the full blitz off, so I think what we do, yeah, we're gonna have to incense, and then there really isn't much we can do here because we don't have a fire energy. So we're just gonna go ahead and quick ball away the crystal. I really don't want to do that, but I think I have to. So we go here, go 1, 3, okay. Let's get another Volcanion. Just to offset the prize trade. Flare Starter. So we have lots of ways to get the Volcanion out. And our opponent has a really slow start right now, so it seems pretty good for us. And they are going to be able to get the full bits off turn 3. I mean, it's really turn 2 because it's actually the second turn they can attack. So they need to get a GX. Okay, they get the quick ball. They need a Pokemon they can full blitz onto. In this matchup, I think Choo Choo is the best. Yeah, it's the best Pokemon to full blitz to when you're playing against Centiskorch, so you can hit those high numbers. So Pikarom is going to be able to two-shot us with 1 E-Power, and then the Choo Choo can one-shot us with 2 E-Powers. Yeah, 2 E-Powers. That is with the 5 energies, so that's it's gonna be a bit before they are able to do that. And the disc is full because this video is a bit long, so it's probably gonna be the last match. Now a lot of our games weren't as good as I've tested them, so yeah, I just wanted to showcase this deck for you guys. It definitely isn't BDIF tier 1 busted, all that stuff. So I think we're gonna go welder onto here. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna have to, this is really annoying because we're gonna have no crystals left. So let's just pretend this is a fire energy. Let's just say we cut the crystals, and then question is, do we heat factory? Because we're relying on getting a fire. I think we go attach custom. Okay. Yeah, we're just high heat blast. So yeah, in this matchup, you just want to have 2 Volcanions and then 2 Centiskorch. So this is a pretty good position for us right now. And we're currently hitting for 200. So we're gonna knock them out easily next turn. As long as they don't switch into the Choo Choo, which they totally can. And yeah, we really need fire energies. That's a pretty important thing. So let's see what they're gonna do here. So they did Jirachi. I wasn't even paying attention to what they got. Oh, they got Tag Switch. So that's going to be helpful in probably the next turn when they KO our Volcanion. Oh, maybe right now. Oh, they're switching Picarams. That makes sense. So they just need an attachment, then they can go full blitz, and it's actually good because it's like we never even attacked them. And we wasted a custom capture, so they're like, yeah, that makes sense. So now all we have to do is get a fire energy. We can go POG Greens Spinner, attach, and then KO. Alright, that's actually really good for us because our hand was not the best. So hopefully we can get a greens or... Okay, we got the spinner. That's all we needed. So we're gonna go spinner bike. We're not gonna... Let's see. Yeah, I think we stamp here. Because we do play 2 stamp. We're gonna see if we saw the other one in deck. We have a custom, we have a bike. Yeah, we're gonna go spinner bike. Spinner attach bike. Okay, so they're gonna get 6 cards in hand and go down to 4. So we really need to set up another V here. Okay, that's really good. We get another fire. So let's see, we have any quick calls? We do not. We have 1 stamp left. And greens. Okay. So we're gonna go bike. Probably just gonna go with a custom capture because Melalana, it's actually Melalana is pretty helpful. I'm already down 1 capture, so we don't really need to guess anything right now. So we're just gonna go. Yeah, we have 2 stamps now, and we didn't use a supporter, so we can go for the POG gear. Surge. We could go Surge this turn, but we don't really have to. Yeah, we kind of want to get a quick ball, but we are down to both quick balls, which is pretty unfortunate. Let's see. Tool Scrapper. We can get a Tool Scrapper in the heart. No, we don't need Tool Scrapper. It's not at any point. Yeah, we go here, we go Welder Hearth. And we're gonna use the Hearth for next turn. So we can knock him out this turn. And this is pretty unfortunate that we're not able to get another V down. But we should be able to draw into one next turn. We get the V max there. But are we gonna be able to get another Pokemon? So all we have to do is greens, double custom the Pikarom, and we have game. Now, opponents didn't set up as well as they could have, and yeah, so if they do Tandem Shock us, we're gonna have to find a Pokemon off the Heat Factory, and then we're gonna be able to. Is he gonna go for Boltons? No, he can't. So that's 6. So that would be 190. Okay, so there's 1 E-Power, so they need 2 E-Powers. I think they just got it. They need 2 E-Powers for game. Yep, they got it. Volknet E-Power. Okay, I guess we just lose because we couldn't find another Pokemon. It's another tough thing about this deck. No Pokemon. Well, that's gonna be it for the busted deck. This deck is OP. As you can see, we won 100% of our matches. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. This deck is better than it seems in these videos, but alright, I guess it didn't turn out too well. So yeah, that's it for Green Centiskorch. Alright, don't go anywhere yet. You guys have made it to the very end of this video. So for doing that, whether or not you skip to the end, watch the whole thing, you guys made it to the end of the video. So I'm going to be showing you guys the list that I actually refined. I'm not going to be talking about it as much as I did at the beginning. That was probably way too long for you guys, but here is an updated list. We learned a few things about our games, and we're going to see what we ended up changing. So as you can see, we ended up adding the 4th Volcanion. I felt like Volcanion was really important in this deck. We always want to start it. We never want to start Centiskorch V. Volcanion is the optimal starter. Lugia was just not very good, and I think it's better to just two-shot, and it just kind of gets in the way because you kind of want to have these, you know, the Centiskorch V and the VMAX and then the Volk, and then the Lugia kind of messes with the prize trade, so that's why we did that. We also did add a Fiery Flint, and this card was really great for just even early games, getting our energy set up. It's great for almost all parts of the game, really depending on what the situation is. We also did add 2 Judge Whistles. Now we really just want to draw through our deck. Consistency is really important in this deck, and if we don't get our greens or our welders turn 1, then we are really going to struggle. So that's why we have the 2 Judge Whistles and the 4 Acrobikes. I actually did play this list against Azul GG on the Twitch stream, and I beat him when he was using Eternity Disc VMAX. It was a really good match. Didn't record it. My friend suggested me doing it, but I did not doing it. And then we also did change. We added the Wondrous Labyrinth. Okay, so this card is actually so busted. This card is literally, this is the new power plant of the current meta, because you go Wondrous Labyrinth Stamp, and literally that's so good. So you can use Wondrous Labyrinth against ADP at the very beginning of the game, so it's really great to prevent them from altered creation. It's just good against Eternatus, anything Dragapult, anything that requires 2 energies, and just to even Zacian decks. Wondrous Labyrinth is just a great all-around card. I don't even know why I cut it in the first place. Well, yeah, I know why, because I couldn't find any space. We also did add a Bird Keeper. So this card, we have the Bird Keeper and we have the Malalnana. So both these cards are going to be switching out against the Vikavolt, so that's going to be really great there. And we did cut down energy, so we have 11 energies instead of just 12. So we also did that. And then the last change was, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we don't have any custom catchers in this deck. So we added the 2 Whistles, we added the Labyrinth, we added the Bird Keeper, so that's 4 cards. Oh yeah, we also added another boss's order, so we do play 2 boss now instead of just 1 to account for the custom catchers that were removed from the deck. And I just felt like for custom catchers, I always just ended up not really wanting them in my hands. I use them to draw cards a lot of the time, so I felt like Judge Whistle would just be a lot better, and we could just add some other cards that we wanted. But yeah, this is going to be the updated list. I kind of want to play this for POG, even though it may not be the best option. It may not be the BDIF, but it does have a great chance against almost every deck and format. And this is the updated list. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video.